So I have made a sprite here, I've done it in vector mode, and I did it nice and big and 400%. And I recommend that you draw in there, and sometimes you may want to get even bigger. We've had some questions about how to get some curved lines. So I made this foot curved, and I started with something that looked like this. So I just drew that with lines, kind of like, let's say we had a foot coming out, nope, a foot coming out of the side of this guy. And do it like that, right? But that's not what we're doing. I made it there. Alright, so here, and then this is really important, I press shift, and then I click, and click again. Right. And then I slowly do this. Now, there are times you can see it's rastering and doing this crazy stuff. Well, if you get it in the right spot, it'll be okay. You've got to be pretty patient with this and do it slowly. I'll let that pause a little. And then I'm going to bring that out. So like if I let it rest just a little bit, a lot of times I have more success. So then I'm going to come over here. It really wants to freak out there, right? I'll let it, but then I'll go over here, rearrange this, and slide that up. Now I have something that looks a little bit more like feet. You know, you have to keep in mind that these things are going to be pretty small. They aren't going to be huge like this. If we look over here, they don't look bad, right? So now this next part's really important. I'm going to reduce the size, and then I'm going to fill in, but I can't fill stuff in. You're going to see that if I go in here and I try to give him blue jeans, it's not going to fill in. But if I did it up there, because I started that with a, what do you call it? I started with with the ellipse, and then did the bottom. It does everything. But I don't want the eyes like that. So what I've found that works is when I know I'm done with the outline, I go to bitmap and I fill it in. Then I come back to vector and I save it there. So I'm going to go to bitmap. I'm totally done. If you're not totally done, you're in trouble because you can't really, I don't know if you can edit it. So I'm going to go, I know I'm totally done, right? Super duper. I'm going to convert to bitmap. Now in here, you can see why we do it, because it looks a lot better in vector, right? But here, this is pretty simple. Give them some blue jeans, maybe some red shoes, gray top, and maybe a white top. And the eyes, how freaky do we want to get? Maybe some blue eyes. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go back to bitmap and, convert back to vector. And I'm going to get a better looking guy in the vector mode than I had before. And if we look over here, I also made it a little bit bigger, right? The line's a little bit thicker, because if I go to reduce this guy and I reduce him in here, oops, that's the grow one. I reduce the size in here, he'll stand up longer than if I were to reduce this size of my pig. You see how that outline loses a lot of stuff. So that nice thick line is a good idea to begin with. And I think that's it. And I would name that something different, but that's looking pretty good now. And